A lot of time with the Bureau and some very interesting stories as a result of it. The one regarding an airplane that was hijacked out of, I guess it was Reno, I believe, and it was flown to Vancouver, British Columbia, where the hijacker, they landed there, and the hijacker released all the passengers except for the crew, and he told the Mounties he wanted 40 bars of gold and $500,000, and they said, well, the only thing we can give you is Canadian money. And he says, forget that, give me the bars of gold. So they brought that on as he requested, and he told the pilot to take off. He says, we're going somewhere else. And so they said they were going to come into Seattle. The pilot had radioed that they were going to fly into Seattle. Hijacker said he wanted $500,000 in run-of-the-mill bills. An FBI agent by the name of that I knew very well went to the Seattle First National Bank and said, my name is Bob Reynolds. I want $500,000 in run-of-the-mill bills. They said, we don't have that much money. And he says, well, give me what you have. And they said, well, about $350,000. He says, the guy doesn't have time to count it anyway. So he took that, came back out to the airport, and the hijacker instructed the FBI that bring it. The airplane came in and made one pass at about 300 miles an hour and about 200 feet in the air. So it was something to see, to have that aircraft come through at that speed, at that height. And he made another circle and then landed on the west portion, what is now the third runway at SeaTac. And we were watching with binoculars, and they instructed the FBI to bring money out and a forklift, and we'll bring the money in on the service entrance to the airport, to the aircraft. And I want the two agents that are going to be bringing the money up on the forklift take all their clothes off except their underwear. And so while this was going on, two other FBI agents were on the opposite side of the aircraft, and they duct taped a pistol on the end of a 10 or 15 foot pole, and they passed it up to the window of the co-pilot, which the bandit could not see in that area. And they were able to, the co-pilot was able to pass it to one of the FBI agents, and they got in a fight, and there was no gunfire, but they overpowered the bandit, and they said that you're going to be the first person on, because I was on my way out there, and they said as soon as the captain gets off of the plane through the back ramp of the 727, you go in there, because there's supposed to be a bomb up there in the pilot or in the cockpit area. And so when that pilot came down, he was as white as a sheet. I couldn't believe it. He was so scared. Anyway, I went up there and I looked around, and I did find some stuff, but there was no explosives. The guy went to jail, and I don't even think we testified because of the trial, because they had such a solid case on this guy, and it was a very kind of hilarious to watch, and sort of scary, but very, very interesting. And